Hello everyone, welcome back. Alexander Love here. And recently I was asked to talk about what is acupuncture. And so what I thought I would do is talk about this question in the context of how acupuncture can support the experience of pain, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual forms of pain, and also how it can support a human being to heal. Now, this is a perfect thing to explore if you are someone who is in pain or someone who has physical health, emotional health, spiritual health issues that you have not yet found answers for and are looking for a deeper understanding of how acupuncture can help, as well as I will give things that you can do today to start supporting your own health, get back on track. This topic is also for other practitioners, whether you are acupuncturists or psychotherapists or massage therapists, and you're wanting something to offer your clients so that they can understand a little bit more about how acupuncture works and help educate them around other possibilities around what they can do to support and transform their own health. So in this discussion, I'm going to explore 5 different ways that acupuncture can support someone that is having difficulties with pain on all different levels and health issues on all different levels. So we'll get a look at specifically how acupuncture supports someone in this territory, and at the same time get some sense of how we can begin to look at how does this thing work. Let's begin by saying that how acupuncture works is ultimately nested within a mystery. Now, you're not always going to get that kind of expression from some people. However, if you know me, you know that I prefer orienting and inviting others to orient to the profound mystery of being human, and that resting into certainty is often the cause of a lot of suffering to begin with. So while I will be explaining how acupuncture works, I do want to add that caveat in the beginning that a lot of healing is quite mysterious. We can tell ourselves that it's not because we want to be certain about stuff, and we want to find certain ways for all of our problems to go away as quickly as possible, and I understand that. But I do want to invite that as we go through this conversation, that we're also embracing the fact that there's a lot that we don't know, and that there's something beautiful and terrifying in that realization. So how does acupuncture support someone who's experiencing physical pain, psychological pain, spiritual pain? How does acupuncture help when someone is experiencing some sort of health issues, diseases, stress, any of these things? To begin with, number one, what acupuncture is able to do is have a direct impact on the nervous system. Now, we can say, and many practitioners have stated, that many diseases can be boiled down to issues with our nervous system. When we are in a place of fight or flight, when we are in a survival mode where our body is essentially in a state of panic and has a sense of danger, it is very difficult for us to heal, for us to recover from traumatic experiences. And when I say traumatic experiences, I mean both emotionally traumatic experiences as well as physically traumatic experiences. That our body likes to be in a restful state when it is trying to heal. And so one of the things I think we can all relate to is that we live often very busy lives, and our lives can be filled with a lot of stress. The stress can be in relationship to our job. It can be in relationship to trying to juggle our work with our family life. And often if we're suffering from some kind of illness or some kind of pain on any level, that in and of itself creates stress, let alone trying to deal with that while also trying to juggle the rest of our lives. So one of the things that acupuncture is very excellent at is at inviting our system into, the technical term is a parasympathetic state. We experience this as a deeply restful place. Many times when someone is receiving acupuncture, they have the experience, they say, gosh, it seems like time stood still. Or, wow, time just flew by. That treatment was an hour long and it seems like it took 30 seconds. And then another person will say just the opposite. They'll say, man, it seems like I've been laying on this table forever. Because what starts to happen is our bodies get invited into this parasympathetic place of stillness. And we begin to touch this sense of, we could say, timelessness. This reminds our system about what it feels like to be in a place that is safe, nourished, and whole. And when our body, when our mind has that experience, our body's natural capacity to heal, it switches on. So this is one way that acupuncture can support illnesses and pain. It's not even so much that the acupuncture is making the disease go away, as much as through this invocation and invitation to the body and to the mind of this deeply restful place, the system itself, with its own innate healing capacities, begins to get activated. Now, as another part of this, how acupuncture is affecting the nervous system, acupuncture can support our body to begin creating new neural pathways. But very often, what happens when we experience a trauma in our lives, whether it be a physical trauma or an emotional trauma, what often happens is our bodies will create neural pathways that continue to support that experience of pain or that experience of disease. Now, when we place an acupuncture needle into the body, which, by the way, if you're not familiar, is much different than having your blood drawn. It's often much less intense. These are very, very thin, hair-thin needles. That when these needles are gently placed into the body, it begins to help the neural pathways repattern. It begins to create an environment where the system can experience sensation in a new way. That's why very often someone will come in to receive an acupuncture treatment, and they'll come in and their pain level is like at an 8, and then after an hour treatment they leave and their pain level is at a 1 or a 0 or a 3. What's happening there is the whole system, in addition to going into that parasympathetic rest state, the nervous system is beginning to reorient around the sensation, so that the sensation itself is no longer perceived as danger. And when our nervous system perceives a sensation as danger, it can very often turn that sensation into a pain sensation. So as I said, in addition to sharing how acupuncture works with things like pain and diseases, I'm also going to give you things that you can do right now, today, so that you can start changing your life, improving your health right away. And so what I'm going to do for this first part, where we're looking at how acupuncture affects the healing processes in our body through affecting the nervous system, I'm going to give you a little exercise that you can do. Some people call this somatic tracking. Somatic tracking is a process by which we begin to go into our body, and rather than be in the stories of I'm sick, I'm in pain, I'm in chronic pain, I have chronic fatigue, I'm not able to deal with these things, it's so terrible it won't go away. Notice where I am in my body. I'm in my head. The invitation here is to drop into our body, the rest of our body, and begin exploring sensation without story. So the first part of this is to be able to just notice that you have sensations in your body. For some of you, this is obvious. You're like, dude, I know there's sensations in my body. I'm connecting to them all the time. For others of you, maybe you've spent most of your life in your head and this is a new idea. Either way, the invitation is to drop into your body and start to notice that sensation of pain with curiosity. Just dropping in and noticing the sensation of pain, or there may be sensations of discomfort in relationship to whatever illnesses or health issues you have. Maybe you don't even have a specific health issue that's been given a Western diagnosis, but you just don't feel good. Well, that I don't feel good has a sensation, whether it's emotional or physiological. And so the invitation here is to just begin by noticing that those exist. Once you do that, the next part of this process is called titration. Titration in this case just means that you go towards the sensation and then you go away from the sensation to, in this case, another sensation in your body that feels either neutral or it feels good. So what you do is you, again, scan your body and look for a place that feels like, okay, it's not bad, it's not good, it's just, I don't know, nothing. That would be neutral. Or you might find a place in your body, oh wow, when I go to my hands, it actually feels kind of vibrant, kind of feels kind of alive. So then take a moment and put your attention there. You can do it for a 5 count. And then after you've been present with that sensation without any story for a 5 count, you can go ahead and then move back to the sensation that's more uncomfortable. And you can do that for a 5 count. If it's really intense, you can do it for less. You can do it for a 3 count. And then you keep going back and forth, back and forth. Now what this does is this creates an experience in your nervous system of breathing. When your nervous system feels like it can breathe, it begins to regulate. And when it begins to regulate, you begin to relax. And there's less of a fear of our sensations of pain, illness, and discomfort. So that's something that you can do right now. I've seen this simple practice help chronic pain diminish by an extraordinary amount in a very short period of time for some people. In other people, I've seen it reduce pain and allow them to build a healthy relationship with these sensations in a way that feels very empowering and very supportive.